Welcome back to CC Writes, where we explore good stories and how they're made. My name is CC Lepke, and today I am sharing with you my Nanowrimo story. This is Guns and Glitter. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you'll know when more of my videos come out. The purse at her side vibrated for a moment. Then a generic dubstep beat started playing. Grace sighed and dug out her phone to look at the screen. Her mom's face appeared, and Grace very nearly dismissed the phone call. She didn't want to tell her mom that she didn't get the job, let alone that the job she didn't get was at a strip club. After wrestling with her conscience, she answered the call. "Hey, Mama." Guadalupe Marroquin was an emotional woman even on the best of days, but the moment Grace answered the phone, all she could hear was indistinct sobbing. Her heart froze, and she mentally berated herself for almost not answering. "Mama? Mama, what's wrong? What's going on?" "Corazon, it's your papa. He's dying! He's dying!" Grace stumbled and nearly collapsed on the sidewalk. "What? What's happening? Mama, what's going on?" Guadalupe didn't answer. She sobbed hysterically. Grace's hand shook as she pulled the phone away from her ear to look at the screen. "Mama, where is he? Where's my papa?" Her voice broke. The sobbing disappeared, and a new voice replaced it. "Mama, I told you not to call her. Gracie, everything is fine, I promise." Gracie's sister, Lulu, was as calm and reassuring as ever. But it wasn't time for that. "Mama says Dad is dying. How is that fine?" Grace sat on the ground. She felt cold and distant. "Where is he?" "He's not dying. The doctor said it was a minor cardiac event." "He had a heart attack?" "He is stable, Gracie. The doctor said he'll be fine. I told Mama not to call you. She's all worked up, but it's okay. It really is. You know how she gets." "Lulu, you better not be lying to me." Grace dropped her head into her hand and let out a shaky sigh. "He's really all right?" "I promise. I know you have other things to worry about. If it was serious, I would have called no matter what. He's fine. He's even awake right now. I can put him on the phone if you want." Lulu was such a sweetheart. Grace shook her head, then remembered they were on the phone. "No, it's fine. I trust you, baby sister." "I'm so sorry Mama did this to you. You must be a wreck right now." "No more than usual." Grace forced a laugh that neither of them believed. "Which hospital is he at? I'll stop by after I'm done for the day." Lulu didn't say anything. "Luisa Alberta Marroquin, you better answer me right now." Lulu sighed. "I hate it when you use my full name, you know that." "Luisa." Grace was at the end of her patience for the day. "He's at St. Juan Grande Hospital." Lulu waited for a response, then sighed when none came. "It's not that bad, Gracie. He's in good hands. They got him stable right away. We couldn't have asked for better care." Grace clenched her fist in her lap. "You could have, actually. You know that hospital is a death trap." "It was the closest to where we live, and it's the one we can afford." Lulu cleared her throat and spoke a little more quietly. "They said they would work out a payment plan with us, and if I talk to people at the church, they might help." "They never help. They give us their prayers and pitying looks and leave us to our suffering." Grace slammed her fist against the concrete sidewalk. It hurt, but she kept her agony in check, shoving it down so she wouldn't let out another sob. "Prayers aren't nothing, Graciela. You know that." "Fantastic. So we'll get their prayers and another medical bill we can't pay, and then what? Eat grass for the rest of our lives?" People were starting to stare at Grace again, huddled against the side of the building in her business clothes and makeup streaked with fresh tears. She glared back at them and turned halfway so she didn't have to watch the onlookers gawk at her misery. "We'll figure it out. God will provide. Sure he will, Lulu, just like he always has. Sarcasm coated Grace's tongue like thick poison. Yeah, Lulu's voice came through the phone, stronger than she normally spoke. She was confident and sure, just like he always has. Grace rolled her eyes, exasperated with her faithful little sister. I have to go, Lulu. I have more interviews today. Okay, I'll call if anything changes. You don't need to worry about us. I always worry about you, baby sister. Always. I know, Gracie. Love you. You too. The line went dead. People chatted and walked in a wide semicircle around Grace, who sat in a crumpled heap next to the glass wall at the foot of an oversized skyscraper. She held her head in her hands and cried. After a while, the sniffles subsided. She stood, brushed the bits of sidewalk gravel and dirt from her skirt, and used her cell phone as a mirror to fix her makeup. A bit of concealer fixed the worst of it. Nothing would hide the redness of her eyes. She would have to hope that her next interviewer didn't notice. Once her appearance was as pristine as she could make it, Grace hurried toward downtown. Cars packed the roads and horns blared as angry drivers fought traffic during their lunch break. People with common sense walked at a brisk pace toward their preferred lunch spots nearby. Grace dodged between pedestrians, garbage cans, and street signs at a half-run. The skyscrapers grew taller and more imposing as she neared the largest business district the city of Esperanza had to offer. One building took up an entire city block and connected to a building across the street through a tunnel bridge that was several stories high. There was a Michelin star restaurant somewhere in that sky bridge that Grace had always dreamed of visiting. She crossed under the shadow of the sky bridge and turned down a one-way street to cut through a parking lot. At last, she stood in front of the Paztec building, one of the largest corporations in Esperanza and the tallest building in the entire city. Grace had applied for 3 different positions at Paztec and been passed over for all of them, even a job as an office assistant. This time was different. She'd beat out 25 other candidates and only had to get through one last interview. The receptionist was already expecting her. Miss Marroquin, please have a seat. The woman smiled warmly. Can I get you anything? No, thank you. It's Julie, right? Grace took a seat right next to the desk. Last time you said your new puppy was getting fixed. How is he doing? Julie's face lit up. I'm so glad you remembered. Buckwheat is doing fine. He's already up and getting into everything. We had to put him in a cone of shame to keep him from digging at his stitches, though. Do you want to see a picture? Absolutely. Grace leaned in as Julie pulled up the image on her phone and gushed at how perfect and smart her new pooch was. Grace murmured her appreciation of the photos and chatted cordially with the woman as she waited. Finally, a message popped up on Julie's computer, letting her know the director of personnel was ready. Julie led Grace through a maze of hallways that ended at a heavy oak door with a plaque that bore the director's name. You can go on in. Julie opened the door and swept Grace inside. Thank you so much for listening to the second part of Guns and Glitter. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. If you've been waiting for a new video from me, I'm very sorry. During November when I was doing Nanowrimo, my computer broke and I ended up losing all of the assets that I have available to make any of my videos. So right now I'm working on my husband's computer, which makes it a little more difficult for me. But we're figuring things out and hopefully I'll be able to post my regular type of content here pretty soon. But until that time, I'm just gonna keep posting what I have so far in my Nanowrimo novel so that you can at least enjoy something from me. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the story that I'm sharing, and hit the bell notification button so that you can get notified of more content. And if you're interested in more stories from me, then you can also find my books on Amazon.com. If you search CC Lepke, then you'll be able to find it, and you can also find links to it in the description down below. Thank you so much for joining me with this story, and I hope you have a wonderful day.